Hey up, I'm Guy Kestivan, the Testy Man, and this month we're at Grizedale for the Polaris route of the month. So, heading out on a 45km gravel ride through Grizedale Forest, out onto the tops for a good view of Coniston, and then all the way over to Windermere for down the... Is it a coast? That's not, does the lakes have a coast?
An edge.
An edge. Well, it's got one now, as Steve says. So, we've got Steve Bate with us, Graham Atkinson coming along for the ride. Yeah, over to Windermere and then back into Grizedale for the finish. But yeah, we're starting at Grizedale Visitor Centre, where you've got bike hire, bike shop. A bit of a pig to get to be honest. So don't be surprised if you have to wiggle a bit and hide in parking spaces on the way up. But worth coming here just for all the facilities and a decent caff when you get back. But there's places to eat at Hawkshead and near Windermere on the way around as well. But as usual, it's the Lake District. Pack an extra layer, pack some extra snacks, and yeah, we'll get rolling. And oh yeah, what I always forget to say is all of these details, map, GPX, Strava Fly Through, will be on the Polaris Bikewear website as well as soon as this video is live. Let's roll. The other nice thing starting from here is that we're also using, as you can hear me chorus chirping away, we're also using some of the Grizedale Forest trails. So starting off on the Silurian Trail, which is the orange badged one, and those signs there. And if you're on a mountain bike, that means you've got the option to do some of the red trail sections as well. And but it is shared with walkers, some of whom have come as far as North Devon to experience these trails. So do watch out as you're walking or riding. Make sure we keep up the rider's good reputation in these parts. I have to say, it's a very nice start to proceedings. So now we've peeled up off the Silurian Way. So Junkov's just gone past the orange sign off to the right. We can then climb up on some old school bridleway for a view of Coniston. Rather than following the red, go left again, have a little climb. There's more deciduous planting going on now, but it's a typical interwar man-made forest, but home to a whole bunch of wildlife, furry, flying, growing out the ground. And also Grizedale has the last native population of red deer in England. There you go, out of the fells. But don't get too distracted by the big fly road climb like we just did. There's a little turn off onto a single track. Can't ever expect to stay totally dry in the lakes. And there's your first view of Coniston. But don't get carried away down this descent. You can actually turn back shortly. I mean, there is a cracking mountain bike descent. Or, you know, chunky gravel. All the way down to the far end of the lake. But today we're going to loop back north. There we go. Not spotted, Graham. And this is Parkermore, the cottage in the clouds. Oh.
That's going to be really slippery.
Cheers, mate.
Not give these guys a rest.
No, no, no.
Make them suffer.
Yeah. Thank you. Beautiful view of Coniston and up into the deeper Lake District. Sailboats, steamers, water, Roman copper mines. And now, back on a single track in the forest. And for this part of the trail, we're actually following the red markers. All right. But not the actual single track. I think we're back on the Silurian as well. Yeah, we are. So back on the orange markers as well at this point. If you get bored of the fly road and fancy a bit of a technical challenge, you can go up the single track sections as well. Still evergreen, but enough kind of clear space to let the flowers in. Oh, and even some rocky features to keep us on our toes. As I say, we're dropping out of the forest now, down towards Hawkshead. So down here, Just go steady. Whenever you're riding in the lakes, you know, it is a deservedly popular and beautiful area for all sorts of trail users. So be nice, stay high, give way, and make sure everyone has a lovely time, because you're getting further faster than anyone else you'll meet on the trails. So, you know, a couple of seconds stood to one side don't make a whole heap of beans to us, but it does seem to make some ramblers and horse folk quite irate. Some might say this is on the chunkier side of gravel, but nice little techie descent down towards the flatlands and then over to Windermere. So again, just take your time, and if you're on skinny tyres and you want to walk, then just enjoy the view. And if you're on a mountain bike, well, congratulate yourself on your life choices for that section. Oh yeah, when you check the route out on the Polaris website to get all the details, you know, where to start, where the facilities are, that kind of thing, how to get there, some of the history that I've forgotten while I'm riding around, all the really nice photos will have been taken by Graham and Steve, because despite having worked for magazines and websites for nigh on 30 years, I still can't take even a half decent photograph. So thanks to those guys for capturing it on film or pixel, whatever it is now, memory card. And be super careful as we're rolling into, in fact, cyclist dismount, pedestrian zone as we're coming into Hawkshead, because this is lovely. What a lovely spot. And there's tea rooms as well here, and a pub and a shop. So get your supplies if you're feeling snacky or a shandy already. And then just look out for the little cycle path out from Hawkshead. Oh, a little footbridge too. Well, ain't that pretty? And if you're coming in from the north, you can also start this route from Hawkshead if you want to. And there's a youth hostel, lots of other accommodation here. So, stop over on the way through, I'll start and finish here. Great little spot. And then just another little scoot through to Ray Castle. And another bit of shared cycleway. They're a bit gatey. And a bit goaty, it turns out. I have to say, it's a lovely little bit of track. Sweeping and swooping through the trees and the meadows. Especially if there's a few of you to get the gates open and keep the flow. Unimog! That's what Graham was saying. Oh, nothing brightens my day like a Unimog. Even better, it's a Unimog with a Unimog. Cheers, mate! You'll have to excuse us a tiny bit of road, and then we're back on the bridleway. A more traffic-free pleasure. I have to say, this is almost entirely off-road this route. As you'd hope for a gravel stroke mountain bike route, but it's not always possible. But good news is, this part of the Lake District has actually got plenty of legal bridleways and cycle paths. You can actually go all the way up to Ambleside if you want, and take on all the loops out of there, or push up onto the fells in different directions. But Or if 45k is a bit much, and then it also splits into 2 shorter loops. It's pretty much a figure of 8 route that joins near the visitor centre. Another little quite tasty descent for a gravel bike, this, let's be honest. But if you've been watching a few of these Polaris videos, you've probably gathered I've got a bit of a reputation for what I'll count as gravel. Oh, should have brought me mini saw. Yeah, no I haven't, unfortunately. Yeah, take your time, look after your tyres. But at worst, there are some bike shops in Ambleside. If my slightly adventurous definition of gravel does cause you some issues, it's just big gravel, Graham. Then we've got more multi-user trails all the way around the Windermere now. Here's Graham. This is lovely, as you can probably see. Taking the brave option. Cool. Rad, baby. Rad gravel. Woo! And there's another calf here at Ray, if you're feeling peckish. Otherwise, we're off following the bike path down to Bowness. And now, down on the shores of Lake Windermere, the biggest of the lakes in the Lake District. I mean, this is an absolutely idyllic piece of gravel riding, but as much as the views and the scenery are spectacular, don't get too distracted by the steamboats and the villages on the far side, because this is, you know, likely to be a busy mixed-use trail. So make sure you spot the spotty dogs early and then slow down so everybody stays safe. A little optional climb up here, just popping over, but you can continue down the lakeside if you want. So it's hella pretty. I thought we'd just wake your legs up a bit on the official route by taking you up and over on this one. I'm guessing from the fact that Graham's walking down for another go, this is a challenge climb. Oh no! See what you mean, mate? Graham's up it on a second attempt. Nearly. Yeah, these Lake District rocks are slippery. That is being proved here. Woo. There we go. Fair play to Graham. Cleaned that one first time. He's got the smallest tyres out of the lot of us. He's on 47mm Michelins. I'm on 2.4 inch Maxis. It's not done yet either. Oh, thank you very much. Cheers. Thank you. Oh, thank you, old timer. Cheers. Oh, that'll do. Okay. Yeah, this is I'd say this is a mountain bike level tech challenge. So if you want to stay chill around the lake, just stay low. Should join up with that track anyway. Right, guys. Look at the views over to Bowness though. That's just awesome. Beautiful. But you gotta say, the reward of that view, it's really worth it. As we drop down back into the valley, Again, a bit lumpy. This is Lake District gravel. So prepare for a bit of gnarly geology in the mix. And gates, obviously. And now we're in Clafe, which has a defibrillator and another pub. And a little sharp turn down this lane. Right, another little sneaky single track off the road. In fact, I haven't ridden this before, so this is a bit of a magical mystery tour for me as well as you. Oh no, there's some stone. I was just about to say this looks like it could get muddy in winter. Now we're back onto stone, so. And now we've got a bit of a pull back up onto the forest. It starts on road for a slightly easier roll at least. And now we've got the big climb up through the sawmill.
Oh, what a smell. Beautiful.
From what I remember, this is a bit of a stinker. Yeah, this is officially a stinker. Even with a small chain ring in the dry. Sorry. I'll come up with some cliche about the view at the top being worth it though. You bet. No stunning view yet, but a nice bit of single track through Grizedale Forest. There's the view. There it is. See? That climb's worth it now, isn't it? Oh, we actually carry on down there, I think. Apparently. Yeah, well, that's what the GPX says. Word of note, it's not down there, it's down there, which doesn't look any better, but there is a trail underneath it, because I've just come back up it. So, yeah, Graham will vanish down it now. That's 3 more bikes down it than I reckon have been down it for a while. Look at that, it's positively cleared now. Who says we don't do anything for you on these routes? Look at that, absolutely, totally clear. 0 foliage or impediment now. There we go, look at that. Lovely and clear. I think it's fair to say this is the more explorer-y section, but you know, take the rough with the smooth. It's got a proper gate and everything, so now we're fine. Oh well, this was well worth persevering on. It's gorgeous now. Heather's out, clear track, apart from a bit of swamp. No, I'm on bang on here. Yeah. A little bit of sogginess and bogginess. And some more oversized Lake District gravel. Oh, hello, yeah. Walky bit, I think. Just make sure you go that way up the hill after coming through this gate rather than the more obvious way down there, because that's what we did, and now we're backtracking. There's quite a bit of nav around here, nav and trialsy sections. I think it's fair to say this track has a few less visitors down it than the one around the side of Windermere. Yeah. There's the gate. Ah, here we are. Yeah, perfectly clear path. Ish. You may see a detour on the official route after this section, but we'll keep it in just for novelty's sake. That was a proper bit of adventure. But now we're back out on some slightly more appropriate double track. Oh dear. Wildness and wilderness, even the lakes. So remember the Silurian way? Well, we're climbing back up onto that now, but meeting it in a reverse direction, so just be careful about people coming the other way around corners, etc. I got it wrong, it looks like we are going in the right direction for the orange arrows, so we're going with the flow, people, so that's all good. That's all good, eh, Graham? Got a bit less than 10k to go now. And if you want, you don't have to go, we're kind of going north and then looping round back to Grizedale. You can just shortcut straight to Grizedale from here if you want. And 45k doesn't sound far, but quite a chunky route in terms of climbing. Just shy of 1100 metres, and now we're just nipping off course for a little detour to Grizedale Tarn. It's like pretty much everything else in this forest. While it looks really nice and natural, it's actually man-made. Oh, that is worth the detour. That is very pretty. And now, straight across at the bottom of that fly road, down a little single track descent. But to descent at the start. Oh yeah, still a descent. And after 2 falls. And now we're basically back round to the bridleway where we dropped down towards Hawkshead. Like I say, you can quite easily split it into roughly a 20 and 25k loop as 2 separate rides if you want to. Now, it's the last kilometre down. But here we see a prime example of why you need to be careful in the forest, because he ain't going to notice what we're doing. So wait until he's done doing that, because you do not want to be picked up by one of those. So that will shred you. And we didn't see any forestry signs out, so I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, found a nice forestry descent. Down towards the visitor centre. I reckon we've earned a bit of tea and cake, to be honest. One more tasty, theologically lively descent. Back to the visitor centre. Yeah, definitely a bit of a bouncer, this one. Hey! Whoa. Like I said earlier, a Rafa 2.4. Big fan of big gravel, especially on bigger terrain like this. And to be fair, all the data coming out these days shows that a lot of the time, certainly on all but smoother surfaces, they roll faster too. So apart from the aero aspect, and a bit more weight, kind of winning all the way by riding what some might say is just a mountain bike. We drop bars. There we go. Back to the visit centre. Job done. So there we go. That's another Polaris bikewear ride of the month in the bag. So massive thanks to those guys for, you know, supporting me to come out and create these routes and these videos for you. And like I say, all the written information, the notes, facilities, how to get here, the GPX file, some photographs, a Strava Fly Through, and all of that sort of essential information will be on the Polaris bikewear site as part of their blogs selection as soon as this video is live. But as you can see, there's a whole load of other trails here, ranging from gravel to mountain bike. You know, we basically came out from the visit centre, did that, went out onto the fells, came in, did a bit of that, down to Hawkshead, and then went right over there effectively and did Windermere, and then dropped back in and kind of retraced our steps after Grizedale town, then back in, then dropped into the visitor centre here. So while you know, this is quite a tasty 45k route, there's loads of opportunity to make a shorter route or a longer route depending on your preferences. And as some of those sections were quite spicy, quite mountain bike, probably in the write-up I'll include some options for gravel that are a little bit easier on gradient and in terms of geology. So make sure you go over to the page to get all the details on those. But for now, like I say, massive thanks to Polaris Bikewear. While you're over on the site, check out the latest news on the incoming range, and because that should be arriving very, very soon. I'm super excited to be able to show you that kit. But for now, that's a wrap for Grizedale, and see you next month for the next one. If you've got any suggestions, then I'd love to hear from you in the comments, or if you ride this route, also love to hear you. And also, just updates on the conditions and state of the trails is always super useful for anyone else doing the route.